When did you have the time to do this? Oh my god.
Bro, you need to make time. Like everybody's busy,
God.
but like you just make time.
All right, welcome everybody to another FanCast Fridays. It's your boy Neth here with the crew. Everybody sound off.
What's up, guys? This is Cody.
Sup? Good morning. Mario's here. How are you?
And back by popular demand, in the back is our boy Rezo.
Always in the back.
Now, we've had some fans express that they wanted some NHL talk. So because it is FanCast Sports, where the fans speak, and we listen to you guys, we've decided to go through and talk about this year's NHL Trade Deadline. All right. We have, the way we're going to do it today is Cody and Mario are going to be educating your boy, your one and only Neth, on how great or how horrible these trades are. I'm going to introduce the trades to everybody, and then we're going to take it from there. And then I think at the end, we have a special surprise for you guys, so stay tuned for that. All right? So
Love special surprises.
They're the only, I don't do regular surprises. All right? We don't do regular surprises. Our only special surprises for our fans. All right?
Those are the best.
I'm actually even surprised because this is the first time hearing about it.
Damn straight. So first and foremost, we are going to be talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning. They acquired Ryan McDonagh and TJ Miller and traded away a 2018 first-round pick, a 2019 conditional second-round pick, believed to become a first-rounder if Tampa Bay wins the Cup. They also picked up prospects, and I'm sorry if I butcher this guy's name, guys. I'm just getting into the world of the NHL here, and I feel like I need to go back.
Let's hear you pronounce this.
Oh, man. All right, here we go. Vladislav
Nailed it.
No, hold on. Vladislav Lav Namestinkov. This person has names in his last name. I'm gonna put that out there. He legitimately has names.
That's a hockey name right there.
Nemesnikov? Vladislav Nemesnikov.
Domestica? That's how you say that?
That's exactly what he said the first time.
I'm pretty sure that's what I said. It was very close, if not spot on. This trade, personally, from what I have been able to find out about this man, Ryan McDonagh, it was a great deal because Ryan McDonagh is apparently the face of the franchise, was the face of his franchise, and over here now, he should be nothing but awesomeness. Quick side note, in researching stuff about the NHL, you guys don't get paid enough. I thought I was looking at WNBA contracts when they were scrolling through how much salary cap these people were taking. The most I saw was $7.5 million. And I don't think rookies in the NBA, no, forget the NBA. I don't think rookies in the top 3 leagues in the United States make that much. I feel like that's just signing bonus money. So you guys definitely
NFL, I don't think makes that much.
Oh, that's so true.
They make a decent amount. They definitely make more than that. The NHL players, they don't make a lot. It's kind of sad.
So tell me about this trade, guys. I think that it's a good trade. Ryan McDonagh, from what I've seen. Am I wrong?
No. So, Ryan McDonagh spent his whole career with the New York Rangers, became the face of the franchise, was a captain there. I didn't see this move coming. I didn't know if he was on the block, but to move him, I think, speaks volumes for New York because it means they are in a rebuild mode. They're getting rid of any and all pieces that have any remote current value and trading them away to rebuild for the future. They got a lot of picks in this deal. They got some good prospects. Like you said, the 2019 second-round pick could become a first-rounder if Tampa Bay wins the Cup, which now New York is hoping for by trading them McDonagh and TJ Miller. So they're really kind of just moving for the future here. So it's sad. I would, as a Rangers fan, I'm not a Rangers fan, but as a Rangers fan, to see him go after all he did for them, it's kind of tough. But now he has a chance to win the Cup in Tampa Bay, who has been surging this season. So
yeah, Rangers fans got to be feeling bittersweet right now. Obviously, seeing your captain go, seeing McDonagh, who've done so much, now gone. But it's time to rebuild. They came close to the chip, to the Cup a couple of years. but this year just really hasn't. I don't know what's happened, but they just haven't had the same success, and so they're having a fire sale. I love this move for the rebuild. You have some good prospects, potentially 2 first-round picks, and I mean, at this point, it's the Lightning's cup to lose.
Now, one thing that you guys said during this trade that I kind of want to touch on for anybody else like me who isn't deep into the NHL, this concept of trading prospects, right? So I'm a big NBA guy. I'm a big NFL guy. Very rarely is prospects a selling point. Very rarely are we like, yeah, they got some sweet prospects. Do those prospects usually turn out? Like, what does that mean, prospects? Just
It reminds me closer to like baseball. Like baseball is the other sport where you'll see a lot of prospects get traded. And I think that's more because when you think of a farm system, the NFL doesn't have a farm system at all. The NBA does have the G League, but even then, it's just you kind of just get bumped up into just playing, NBA basketball. So the term prospects really just kind of in these two spots.
Yeah, and the NHL does have a farm system. They have 2 actually. But most notably the AHL, the American Hockey League, where they can send guys to develop. So the good thing is when you get a prospect is you can send them down there for some learning, to train, and then call them up when they're ready. So it allows you to develop them more. So they can be pretty valuable to a franchise.
Okay. All right. So a lot of you got, so if I'm getting this right, in the NHL, it's not just about worrying about that short-term success, but it's about playing the long game as well. Teams really look into that.
Absolutely.
All right. I love it. Moving on to our second trade, we got the San Jose Sharks. They're second in the Pacific Division, looking to gain a boost moving towards the playoffs. I love any team who's trying to go for the chip and make a move to the playoffs. They went and acquired Evander Kane. He's in the final year of a 6-year contract signed with WPG, and he is expected to play in the playoffs. They traded the other team in this deal was Buffalo, and they traded away to them a conditional first-round pick if he resigns or if San Jose wins the cup, and a second-round pick if he doesn't. There's a whole lot of conditional stuff. The NHL's picks are very, there's not a lot of, hey, you're going to get a first-round pick. It's like, man, if one of these 3 criteria is met, you might get a really good pick right now.
No, it's like a puzzle trying to figure out what pick you're getting. But I love this. I think this trade is an absolute steal. Evander Kane has been the player that this team, the Sharks, have been missing all season. He's big. He's fast. He plays with an edge. Like you said, they're the number 2 seed fighting for that spot. I love this play. I love this trade by the Sharks.
Yeah, the Sharks are definitely looking to make a move. They 34-21, 77 points so far. Like only second in the Pacific Division, so they are definitely in it, looking to kind of just gain that extra piece that they needed. They already have a ton of pieces there. They got Joe Thornton, who has been there. Man, he's been there forever. But they got so many good guys there, but they've come so close so many times. They usually get to like the final round, and then they lose it. So hopefully Evander Kane, who hasn't been with a winning team, like we said, he's been with the Winnipeg Jets, and then most recently the Buffalo Sabres. Not the really winning franchises.
And, yeah, when you think Buffalo, you don't really think winning, and that's
right. Never goes winning in Buffalo. So it's kind of cool to see him go to San Jose. Maybe he can make something happen there. So definitely a good deal for them.
How does Evander put them over the top though? Like what does he bring that this team was really missing in comparison to who they're going to be going up against in the playoffs?
Well, before he got traded to he had 20 goals, 20 assists on the season. So he's just an offensive force. He's just another scoring ability. Now the Sharks are going to have something to watch out for because they have a lot of left-handed shooters now. So that's something that the coach is going to have to work out and figure out a good system for. But like, you just need offense, in basketball, the game's about buckets. Well, similarity in hockey, like you just got to get the puck in the net. And that's what he brings to the Sharks.
Okay. I can dig it.
It definitely brings that offensive firepower.
All right, moving on to the team.
Well said.
Well said. Like nothing else needs to be said. Moving on to the team that, although I didn't know anything about hockey, I feel like they're the Dallas Colts. I'm the Dallas. They're not the Dallas Colts. The Dallas Cowboys of the NHL. The team that is just recognizable. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad. But when I talk about hockey, And if I didn't live in New England, I think I would know about this team, the Toronto Maple Leafs. I feel like they epitomize what hockey's about, aka Canada and Maple. They went ahead.
They
Most
definitely
important
represent
thing in
that.
Canada.
They definitely do. They definitely do. They went ahead and acquired, and I'm sorry, guys, still learning here. Thomas. I don't know if I'm supposed to put a little.
Tom.
You like
Yeah,
Tomas?
I want you to say the whole name, and then I'll laugh.
All right, here we go. Tomas Pelkanik. No, wait. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Tomas Pelkanik.
Is that your final answer?
No, so the L is before the E. It's Thomas Plekanec.
Plekanec. There we go.
Plekanec the mechanic.
Plekanec.
Plekanec the mechanic.
And Ryan Braun. No, not Kyle Braun. I'm sorry. Kyle Braun.
That was
I
an
don't know
easy
how you
name.
mistook Kyle for Brian.
Kyle. There was a lot of Ryans before that. Anyway, Kyle Braun. I'm glad I got the last name right because I've been striking out on these last names other than Kane. Like if they're one syllable long, I can really do this, guys. They went ahead and traded away. All right, here we go.
Let's hear it.
All right. Renat Valiv. We'll call it Valiv.
Okay.
Kirby Rachel or Rachel?
That's all one word?
No, I moved on to the next name.
Oh yeah, it's
Let's
not like
go
a
pause.
hyphenated name.
Oh,
yeah,
all right, here we go.
second guy in the
I'll
trade.
do this. So they gave away Renat Relev. All right. How close was that, guys?
Whew.
Renat Vayev. Yeah, I'm close. Pretty
Yeah,
That
close.
was close.
Yeah.
That was close. All right. I definitely need to get some hooked on phonics to get me through this. Next name, Kirby Rachel or Rachel?
Yeah, Kirby Rachel.
Rachel. It was a
Close.
mix. It was a mix. And they got a second first pick that we've gone through that didn't have 12 asterisks next to it because it needed to meet all these conditions. All right. I'm all about the Toronto Maple Leafs being successful because they're clearly the best team in the NHL. If they're anything like the Dallas Cowboys, they don't have to be good or anything. They just have to be themselves, and everybody outside of the sport will think they're great. So I'm going to continue that trope. Toronto Maple Leafs, awesome trade, winning it all. Go Canada.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I gotta say, first off, the Toronto Maple Leafs are not a franchise they're like the opposite of the Cowboys. They're not a long, historically fabled franchise of success. It's actually like quite the opposite. Like to see them crushing it this season is like a shocker to me. That's not what I think of when I think Maple Leafs. I think of them almost like the Bills more than the Cowboys. But
I mean, to be fair, the Cowboys haven't won anything in like 10 years.
Sure, but even so, I could put them closer to the Bills and the
Yeah, but they
Cowboys.
had that success in the '90s. You know.
Okay, all right, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
All right, so they're the Bills of the NHL then.
Yeah. So Plekanec, he's 35 now, so he's not the top 6 player he once was, but he adds this defensive prowess, penalty killing smarts, and he's just another good face-off man. And the Maple Leafs, like I said, they're actually looking competitive this year. They're looking like they want it. So great addition. You just traded away some prospects, but that doesn't matter. You're trying to win now.
And I just want to chime in real quick. You said something that I haven't heard before. Face off. Now, what is that for everybody who doesn't know, like me?
Sure. So it's not the Nick Cage movie we're talking about.
Fantastic movie.
So face off, how it works. They'll drop the puck in between two players, and they have to face off, and that's for possession. So that'll happen after sometimes some penalties, such as icing, and some other penalties.
Prospecting.
There's a long list of penalties. Yeah.
There is a long list of penalties. I did see that in the NHL that there are varying levels of penalties going from 2 minutes to 5 minutes to 10, I believe. And depending on the penalty, if the opposing team scores, right, you can come out of the penalty box right away. You don't have to serve your full penalty.
Mhm.
But if it's one of the really bad ones, you have to serve like the full 5 or 10 minutes, right? And then if they're on the floor, if your team is without a player due to penalty, that's what a power play is. Am I right?
That's exactly what a power play is.
Oh
my
Basically,
God.
the difference is whether or not you get parole. And so on the back, that's the best way to put it.
I love it. I love it. All right, Cody, tell me about this trade. What do you think, man?
Yeah, so I mean, this is obviously Thomas Plekanec, not the player he used to be, but he does bring that veteran presence to Toronto. And Toronto, like we've said, is a team that, while they haven't had much past success, has kind of been surging this year. They're second in the Atlantic, only 4 points behind Tampa Bay, and they're actually a point ahead of Boston. So to them to kind of gain that pick on some prospects was good for them. They're getting rid of a guy who's probably the clock is ticking on, honestly, at this rate. Obviously, players do play a lot longer in hockey than in most sports. A la Jaromir Jagr. Jaromir Jagr has played forever. So, some players can play a while, but I think he'll be good for Toronto. Kind of gives them a chance. This has made the whole Eastern Conference much tougher. Just say all of these trades.
Oh, absolutely. The top just got rich. Like the rich got richer, and the teams at the bottom are just like, honestly, like let's just get more pieces to rebuild, which I love. I love seeing teams that are kind of like, listen, where instead of just trying to be mediocre, like we'll just embrace it. We'll just get as many young bloods that we can. And I just love that shift.
To that point, then, so is there a culture of tanking in the NHL? Because recently there's been a whole lot of news around the NBA with regards to Mark Cuban, teams like the 76ers tanking. Adam Silver came out recently, was just like, hey guys, if I hear you're tanking, I'm coming down hard and fast. So is tanking a thing in the NHL? Is there a culture of tanking? And does it work the same way? Are there the same benefits?
Not necessarily.
No. The NHL is a little different than tanking. The NHL, the way it goes, it's like it goes by points. So like you have a win, you have a loss, then you have like overtime and ties. So it's not like as straightforward as the NBA where it's like wins and losses. Like they go by points. And so tanking doesn't really benefit you in hockey as much as it does in the NBA where there's like a lottery system and it's not as much in the NHL. So I wouldn't even say there's really a culture of it at all.
No, there isn't. That's why, again, like they love the farm systems. Like they want to let these guys develop, crush it in the farm system and then bring it up to the big leagues.
Okay. And, that would have surprised me if there was that culture, because from what I've seen about the NHL, it's like rugby on ice.
There's pride in it. There's too much pride to
There's
tank.
too much pride and there's way too much hitting. You know what I mean? For you to, I feel like if one of these guys with a beard thicker than Paul Bunyan's, if you go up to this guy and be like, hey, I need you to throw this game, he's going to be like, what? I don't know what I see. I'm not even going to try to do a horrible accent there. Too much respect. All right, let's get through the last couple trades here because there are some good ones. Pittsburgh Penguins acquire Derek Brassard. A quick note, actually, one of our fans, Reefer Turtle, he was shouted out a couple weeks ago in one of our shows.
Reefer returns.
The Reefer does return. This is actually his cousin, and he made sure to tell me that his cousin got traded and that he's pumped about it. So Reefer Turtle, shout out to you. Derek Brassard got acquired by the Penguins. They also added a couple more pieces. Vincent Dunn, man, I'm loving these like solid one-syllable names, and another easy third-round draft pick with no seemingly asterisk attached to that. So I love it. I love it because our fans love this trade first and foremost, and I love the fact that there isn't 13 conditions that go along with this third-round pick. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, this was a big trade. This was a 3-team trade featuring the Golden Knights, their first year in the NHL, and they've just taken the league by storm. They're the top team in their respective division, and I really think that the Penguins won this trade.
Actually, you know what? Before you go on, let me go through and just list everybody else out so that everybody knows who's getting traded. So the Golden Knights acquired Ryan Reavis, no relation to the NFL player, and a 4th-round draft pick. And then the Ottawa Senators acquired Flip. Oh my gosh, here come the syllables. Gustafsson. I feel like I put a little something
more in there.
I put a little something extra on that.
Definitely add like double. Gustafsson.
Thank you.
Gustafsson.
Another easy 1st-round draft pick, 2018, and a 3rd-round draft pick in 2019. So sorry about that. There's all the info. Go ahead, Mario.
Yeah, so I really think that the Penguins came away as the winner of this trade by far. Penguins, if you know anything about hockey, they're kind of a team that's always competitive. Like you always hear, ever since they've had Sidney Crosby, they've kind of always been a team fighting for the cup. And so getting Brassard definitely puts them one step closer. And then also Vegas is going to be continuing to pay 40% of Brassard's contract. So I don't know what's going on there.
It's Gilbert Arenas stuff.
A little questionable by the Golden Knights. And then you have the Senators, who it seems like every single trade we're covering just has that one team who's just like, listen, look, we're looking to farm prospects. Like, I'm out here playing Animal Crossing. That's what the Senators are doing. But I love the move for the Penguins. I don't know why you do this as the Golden Knights. I don't think Ryan Reavis adds that much to the team. And then you also get a 4th round draft pick. I think this is the only 4th round draft pick we're talking about today. All the other ones are firsts, seconds, thirds with, like you said, 6 asterisks. I don't know what the Golden Knights were thinking, but I love this move for the Penguins.
Yeah, this is definitely a big move for the Penguins because Brassard will probably, because of how much depth they have with Crosby and Malkin, he'll probably even run the 3rd line realistically. That's just how deep this team is.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely crazy. That this guy could on any other team definitely run the 2nd line, maybe even the 1st. But on Pittsburgh, because they're so darn good, he'll probably run the 3rd. And it's big because Pittsburgh is always that team. See, they won the Cup last year. They're always that team that's in it, that's up there. They're probably closer to the Cowboys of the NHL. I'd probably say like the Patriots of the NHL just because they're always in it. Obviously, Sidney Crosby has a lot to do with that. And that's a name everybody knows. So if you don't want Crosby, that's the one name you know. Sidney Crosby.
Easy to pronounce. That's why.
And
that's what you need. That's why the NHL hasn't taken off. They need to start either abbreviating these names or going by like their pet names or something. Because there's just way too
pet names.
If your jersey is your first name and then a space to fit your last name underneath it, that's way too much. They need to condense this stuff down. Moving on to our last set of trades, and it's definitely the Homer set of trades here, us being based in Boston. The Boston Bruins are fighting for this cup this year. I actually didn't hear too much about them. I usually kind of like to keep my nose towards the Bruins this time of year, just in case I have to turn into a fair weather fan. And luckily, we got the great request from our fans to look into this, and it looks like they are trying to make a push for the cup this year. They went ahead and acquired Rick Nash, who I love. These single-syllable names, keep them coming, all right? Apparently, he looks to be an ideal fit for the 2nd line and should help after the Bergeron injury. I don't know enough about Bergeron, but people from what I've been able to gather up, that he should be the person to really shore up what they lost on that end. They went ahead and traded to the New York Rangers, I believe, a first round draft pick 2018, Ryan Spooner, Matt Bolesky, Ryan Lindgren, and a 7th round pick 2019. 7th round pick, that's pretty rare. I don't usually see that in a lot of trades. They also went ahead and acquired Tim Wingles. Okay.
Tommy Wingles.
Tommy Wingles. There we go.
So the fun thing
that was
about
the toughest name.
That was the toughest
that
name.
was pretty
That was
easy.
definitely the toughest name.
His name was Tommy.
And
See,
they
Tommy
gave away a conditional
Wingles.
5th round pick for him.
Yes. So Tommy Wingles, and this was a big thing to me. Not really a huge name. So we talked about the AHL earlier, the American Hockey League. So I used to have season tickets to go see the Worcester Sharks, which was at the time the San Jose Sharks farm team, and he used to play there. So I got to meet him, and I watched him play for a few seasons, and watched him kind of develop. So it's nice to see him kind of come back to Boston. Obviously, the Worcester Sharks are no longer a team; they were sold back out to San Jose. But it was kind of cool seeing these guys that you get to watch develop and grow actually come back. So now he's coming back to play for the Boston Bruins, which would be pretty exciting.
How does the San Jose Sharks farm team be in the other side of the U.S.? That doesn't make sense to me.
That's why they bought him back.
Yeah,
I guess.
It's tough. That happens with a lot of the teams. A lot of the teams, they're across country, but it eventually just got so tough because they would call guys up and it would take him like 6-7 hours just to fly out there.
Yeah, that's insane to
Time
me.
change.
That's just it's just like, oh, let me go scout this guy's game like through FaceTime. I don't know. But anyways, back to Rick Nash. Love this trade for the Bruins. You know, as we talked about the Rangers earlier, they're just looking to sell the farm, and that's what they did. Rick Nash, 6-time All-Star. You know, he's just again adding the scoring presence that the Bruins need to do this playoff push. I still think they're a little bit behind the Lightning. I still think this cup is the Lightning's to lose, but I love this trade. I love this trade for the Rangers because again, they accepted the fact that like, guys, we're not the team we were. We don't see it turning around, you know, second half of the season next year. Sell the farm. Let's start clean. And then Bruins again, you get a great scorer.
Burn the crops.
Burn them.
Yeah. No, Rick Nash is a great pickup for the Bruins. Definitely, probably, I'd say the biggest pickup of the trade deadline. Probably will fit ideally on the second line. Although with Patrice Bergeron going out for a few weeks with that fractured right foot, then he may end up getting a lot of first line time because he does. He brings a huge scoring presence to a team that is pretty deep, but they needed that extra piece. So I think he'll be a good fit for that. They did get rid of Ryan Spooner, who I think will have a great future in New York, and I think that's what they're hoping as well. He was a good role player while he was here, running that fourth line. So we'll see. But Rick Nash, he has actually kind of made some waves since he's been here. He did score a goal the other night, so he's fitting in pretty well. We'll see how it pushes him towards the playoffs.
There was one more acquisition that the Boston Bruins made, and it was picking up Brian Gionta. God damn it. Straight ice me, Cody. Straight ice me. All right, so give it to me one more time. Gionta?
Yes.
He actually just got off playing the Olympics. Is this a huge pickup for them?
No, I mean this is pretty big. So he had a long career in the NHL before he played for a few teams, most notably the Montreal Canadiens, and then he captained the men's Olympic hockey team. Obviously, no NHL players participated in the Olympics this year, so it was fairly dry. But I think he brings another veteran presence to the Bruins, and I think that's just another reason why I think it's their cup to lose. Like they are really the team that has it in hand, really going forward.
But Mario thinks the Lightning have it in hand here.
Yeah, the first place team just got better. How can you not pick them? Nathaniel, in perspective, I will put this in perspective for you, Nathaniel. Okay. What if the Warriors
were the Lightning was that good?
I should say the Rockets, because technically the Rockets are first place in their division.
Okay.
So what if the Rockets just went out and got someone like, I don't know, who would you compare this guy to? Giannis?
Wait, hold on.
This guy would be more of like because
Ryan McDonagh. Because let's say the Lightning just got Ryan McDonagh. So who would you compare him to for Nathaniel, who's an NBA fan? Ryan McDonagh, the captain, the one who carried them in the 2014 season.
You know, I kind of like a Dwight Howard comparison.
Like a Dwight Howard comparison?
Yeah,
okay.
I'd say Dwight Howard.
Hold on, what year Dwight Howard? Like right now Dwight Howard, or are we talking about
right
Magic
now,
Dwight
because,
Howard?
Well, yeah, right now.
Definitely not Magic.
He's an older player. Yeah, no, right now Dwight Howard.
And who? Okay, what did the Warriors give up to get Dwight though? Because that's a big thing.
They gave up a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and then some farm people. So some G League players.
Some G League players?
You gave up some G League players and some picks.
I mean, that's an amazing trade then, because that's an amazing trade. If it's as equivalent as G League players, like they just gave some people from some random Worcester team that they owned, then this is the steal of the century.
Maybe
I don't
like
know why this
player. It's as equivalent as it can be. Like it's not like it's
not one for one, but we're putting it in your.
All right, no. Then if that's the case, then that's amazing. That is actually freakishly good. Wait, Cody, what are you talking about? If that's what they just did, how do the Bruins have a chance?
How do the Bruins have a chance?
No, put it into perspective.
Points behind.
Mario just did a great job of putting it into perspective. Put the Bruins trade moves and their team in perspective for me, because Mario is winning this right now.
The Bruins are they're only 5 points behind Tampa Bay. They're not that far behind. They just acquired Rick Nash, who is a much better player than Ryan McDonagh. At this current stage in his career, he is a better player than Ryan McDonagh.
So they picked up like Anthony Davis or Valanciunas.
Valanciunas.
Better than Valanciunas. I'd probably, better than that. I'd say like Kemba. Let's go Kemba.
Wow. Okay, they picked up Kemba.
Let's go. He picked up like a Kemba.
And
right.
Tell me about Tommy Wingles.
Tommy Wingles is more of a role player. Like I don't know. Yeah, more of a role player. I'd probably say like I'm trying to think. What guy like this? Like a Terry Rozier, maybe. Yeah,
I mean, going off of what you just said, I think the Lightning are still the team to win, but you guys helped yourself. That actually brings us to our special surprise. What? Special surprise, guys. We had another fan question. Speaking of the Olympics, they wanted to know, one of our fans, C. Boucher, wanted to know, what was our favorite part of the Olympics? All right. Personally, I have two things that I really enjoyed about this Olympics. I'm going to go with the more positive of the two. First is Shaun White. I like snowboarding up until Shaun White made it cool for me like 5 years ago. Right. I actually want to go out and try snowboarding. And I'm not looking to the falling. That's inevitably going to happen time and time again. That's why I'm going either with my girlfriend or by myself with no cameras allowed, no cell phones, no nothing. But he became the first snowboarder to get 3 gold medals at his age when everybody was like, that sport is just full of 20-somethings, like 19 and 20-somethings. And to be in his 30s, to come out there and compete after he reinvented himself, and he had some major injuries last year and the couple years, like with a back injury, I believe. So him coming back and doing that was really big. I love seeing a competitor set a new standard in their sport. And then lastly is curling, the sport that nobody talks about until everybody talks about it because of what? The Russians. How do you get caught doping in curling? Like, what do you dope for in curling? What, like,
precision, accuracy. Yeah.
Wait,
sweeping.
Wait, hold on. What drug are you on like super Adderall? Are you on like Adderall mixed with I don't know what else? Like
you're on Russian Adderall.
You're on Russian Adderall diluted down to be like the most potent form ever, so you could just zero in, give you like Superman vision. Like why? If there's any sport that people are like, man, I didn't even know people tested doping for this sport because. I
feel like you're just discrediting curling. That's what I'm getting.
I'm not discrediting curling. I think curling is more of a finesse sport. Like take a baseball, right? Baseball has 2 parts when it comes to hitting. But once you hit the ball, you needed the power to get it past there, and that's when the doping kicked in, right? That's why Barry Bonds' neck got bigger, got thicker than his head, and people were like, "Hey guys, this doesn't seem natural." With curling, from what I've seen, if you get a lot stronger, you're gonna push the ice, the stone farther, and that's not what you want to do. You want to have more control. I feel like you'd want to be a more dexterous person.
You do, and that's why you take super Adderall or whatever Russian they created in a laboratory to just help you hone in and just put that block, that stone, thank you, in that perfect spot on the ice.
Curling is a great thing.
Curling's fun to watch. It's a tremendously growing sport.
I don't know anything about it, but it's oddly mesmerizing to just see somebody slide, like just watching the ball. It's like the best part of golf to me is not the actual golfing, but when they hit the ball and they have the computer generated line that tracks the ball. Right, that's the best part of golf to me, and curling has that where you just see the stone just sliding down the ice. And you're like, oh my god, is it gonna land here? Is it gonna land there? Oh my god! I don't know. That's why I did curling. What about you guys? What did you like about the Olympics this year?
I mean, first and foremost, I gotta like that U.S. We crushed it in snowboarding. Of course, we won women's hockey. We beat Canada.
The first time in 20 years. It was a 20-year drought,
and they were not happy about that either.
No, but we are. So, I'm pretty pumped about that. I mean, Norway won the Winter Olympics, if you will. They had the most total medals, which to me isn't a surprise. Like the Vikings won the Winter Olympics. Not like, all right, you guys live in the cold. I was kind of surprised Germany, like as someone who doesn't really follow any international, except when it comes to the Olympics and the World Cup, Germany coming away with the second most medals. I didn't even think it got cold there in Germany. So good for you
Wait,
guys.
what? You didn't think it got cold in Germany? Oh,
My man needs to do some traveling.
Your world history teacher is rolling in her like easy recliner right now. Just
I mean, that sounds.
You were
cool.
gonna say grave. I was gonna say, what do you?
yeah, no. I was like, I don't think she said.
No, I'm glad he took a step back because I doubt she is. And then Canada, you know, we beat them in women's hockey, but they edged us for third most medals. But you know, we got fourth. So suck it, Netherlands. Suck it, South Korea. Suck it, all the other countries.
What, North Korea,
Germany, and Canada. I don't even know if North Korea competed, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
They're a country.
It doesn't feel like
They're a country, but I don't know if every single country shows up for the Olympics.
No, they did. They sent a team for the first time in God knows how long. But man,
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was like North and South Korea.
Those creepy cheerleaders that they had. Anyone see those creepy cheerleaders who just like? Yeah, it was just weird. Like everything about North Korea going to this Olympics was strange. But no, it was pretty interesting. Mario, you mentioned snowboarding, and you mentioned Shaun White. Red Gerard surprised too. 17-year-old won the gold in his event, which was really exciting to see. We got the first ever gold in cross country skiing. We had never gotten that before.
Boom.
Jesse Diggins, and that exciting finish, which was pretty good.
Hero.
Yeah, we got to see Lindsey Vonn compete in what is more than likely her last Olympics.
Oh,
What is her sport? Or what's her Olympic event? What's Lindsey Vonn?
Skiing.
What'd she get?
She got bronze. She got bronze in her final race.
Respectable.
Yeah. So I mean, at least she podiumed, which was pretty good. Nathan Chen came back after his poor start in the first run. Second run, he landed 5 of 6 quads, which was an Olympic record to come back and win, which is in figure skating, which that's very exciting. It's not for everyone, but some people like watching it.
I dig figure skating.
Yeah, no, I mean it's pretty fun to watch.
I don't know how you couldn't.
You know, overall, like the U.S. didn't do as good as they wanted to. We finished 4th overall, but you know the U.S. is always on top. Yeah, but always on top. You know,
top 4 finish.
4th isn't
top 4 finish. Thank you. I'm selling us short.
Yeah. If you don't win at all, it's a disappointment. That's kind of how the U.S. goes, and that's how it was. But yeah, 23 medals, not too shabby overall.
Yeah, we're still at second in the all-time Winter Olympic standings. Just again behind Norway, behind the Vikings. Like,
always killing it. FanCast Sports. Thank you guys for joining us for another FanCast Fridays. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Keep the questions coming. Every show that we possibly can, we're going to include a fan question because, as always, this is FanCast Sports where the fans speak.
So be heard.